Fox's X-Men series lasted almost 20 years, so it's pretty evident they would introduce some of the coolest X-Men from the comic pages. You have the usual suspects like Charles Xaviers, Magneto, Jean Grey, Cyclops and Wolverine, but X-Men are so much more than the popular boy band. Since mutants come with a crazy amount of powers, we get to see a wide range of X-Men with personalities and cool powers. So this list goes to all those mutants who deserve so much more than what Fox did to them. This one's for the underrated underdogs.
Oh! You're on the left. You're beautiful.
That is so sweet. Thanks.
When you have Wade Wilson in a film, it's guaranteed that he'll hog all the limelight. It's hard to be an actor in a Deadpool movie when Ryan Reynolds just chatters his way through fights, but Angel Dust did hold her own. She was the result of experiments that also left Wade messed up. But unlike Wade, Christiana didn't get the superpower of talking. She instead got the powers of Hulk, or Colossus, or Juggernaut, or basically any super strong character you can imagine. Angel Dust did what she's supposed to do: smash people. She assisted Ajax in every operation and totally obliterated Colossus in a one-on-one fight. And when it was time, she even played the woman card. That was one mean punch in the family jewels, and for that, I love Angel Dust.
Woo! Superhero landing. Yeah, that's really hard on your knees. Totally impractical. They all do it.
Work done, Dukes. Shouldn't have done that. Now I'm gonna kill you before Logan even gets a chance.
X-Men Origins Wolverine was a convoluted film. It had too many flat characters and too thin storylines, but it did have a roster of underrated mutants like John Wraith. John Wraith, or Kestrel, was part of the epic Team X. The Black Ops team was formed by mutants like Logan, Sabretooth, and Agent Zero, so you have to be pretty good to be able to be a part of this team. Team X did biddings for Stryker in the 80s, but John Wraith was the one who had a strong moral compass about everything. Apart from Logan, it was John who regretted how their targets were used as experiments and later helped Logan find his brother. After Logan left, Sabretooth became jealous and aggressive, killing everyone in his path. John even went up against Victor and landed some sweet punches. John Wraith could teleport between spaces, and he used that against Sabretooth to extremes. His only fault though, he was too predictable.
You're predictable.
Now, we were rather hoping you would take us all the way.
That's a 6-hour drive.
That won't give us plenty of time to talk.
Continuing the tradition of black characters dying early, Darwin showed some of his powers before he was frozen for life. So it's X-Men First Class and Charles and Eric are on a shopping spree. They've been scouting for new mutants and they've unearthed a few gems along the way. Armando Munoz is one such mutant who has a very, very interesting power: the power of survival. Munoz can adapt to the environmental conditions to save himself. If you throw him in fire, he'll turn into fireproof stones. Throw him into water and he'll develop gills. It's pretty sweet, right? No wonder he got the name Darwin. Yet ironically, it's the survivalist who dies first. Sebastian Shaw's team attacks the new recruits and Darwin puts on a brave show. Along with Havoc, Darwin tries to stop them, but Shaw just absorbs Havoc's blast and feeds that to Darwin. He tries his best to survive, but I guess nothing can save you when you're dying from the inside. Literally.
Mystique the mercenary.
Don't call me that.
No matter how much you pretend to be someone else, Caliban knows who you are. If there's anything worth knowing about mutants, Caliban knows it.
A hugely underrated mutant who deserves much better treatment. Caliban was the mutant Charles Xavier and Logan could trust. He took care of the Professor, fed him, and protected him. He's not just a wholesome caretaker, Caliban was a badass mutant. We first meet him in Apocalypse. It was the 70s, and he was an asshole back then. He used his powers like a humanoid Cerebro and found mutants on demand. Pretty lucrative business, I'd say, though. Things changed as he grew, though, and we met an old Caliban in Logan. Rice and the gang used Caliban's powers to hunt down mutants, and he's regretting every single day for his actions. But his best moment's definitely when he dies. He was tortured earlier with sunlight because of his albinism, and finally, he returns the favor. From a douche to a hero, this mutant detecting mutant needs to be discussed more.
Beware the light.
Crazy, huh?
What?
You like fish, I like fish too.
Maybe we should get a bite sometime and talk about it.
Now, this is one mutant I don't see enough appreciation for. Banshee's a cool dude and he sure loves the sound of metal. Banshee's part of Eric and Charles' recruitment drive, and just like Darwin, gets his name from his powers. Banshee can create powerful sonic waves. He can use his sound as a sonar under the water, disorient people's minds with high-pitched sound, and can even use it to fly. Not to mention, his screams can kill people. Banshee was the one who found Shaw's submarine under the water and tried to help the team during the beach fight. It's a shame he only got mentions in later films, but I would have loved to see more of that Banshee wave. I mean, that dude could scream alright. Now, Blink is a hugely underrated mutant solely because she has half of Doctor Strange's powers without training for years or getting her hands destroyed. Blink can open portals to teleport staff and practically act as an Amazon delivery partner. In the days of future past, Blink was the first line of defense against the Sentinels. When Charles and Kitty Pryde were trying to transport Logan back to the 70s, it was mutants like Blink and Bishop who go up against the invincible Sentinels. Blink redirected Sentinel beams to other Sentinels and even used her neon purple portals to cut off bodies. She brought some time and kept the Sentinels busy with her tricks, but you know how Sentinels work, don't you? They eventually figured out her patterns and killed her. Blink died, but not before showing what a freaking cool power she had when used smartly.
What is that?
Sebastian Shaw was a mean villain, wasn't he? But he didn't do it all alone. Shaw had a formidable team, the Hellfire Club. It had Riptide, it had Emma Frost, and of course it had Azazel. Azazel was Shaw's right-hand man, and he really did all the dirty work. It's easy to hate Azazel, but you can't deny he had some awesome powers. The biggest strength of Azazel was his ability to psionically transport himself. Dude could break into any facility, kill anyone, and vanish into thin air before you can say kafefe. He had some sort of spidey sense and could analyze threats in his space well in advance. As if that wasn't enough though, he had this Nightcrawler-like tail that was both a really strong tail and a sword. He killed the Man in Black, choked Banshee, and really made me furious when he's on the screen. Azazel was disproportionately overpowered, and it's a shame he just didn't get a longer run. Speaking of shady mutants, Angel was really an underrated one, but he was the victim of the X-Men universe, so we have two versions of Angel. The original Angel was a shy boy struggling with his new identity. His asshole father tried to cure his son's uniqueness, but eventually failed. We got to see a nice evolving relationship between father and son, but it's the other version where we get to see Angel's true powers. In the Apocalypse, Angel is seen fighting opponents in an underground fight club, and he shows off some serious skills. Angel was beaten by Nightcrawler, but he stood up to Apocalypse by rejecting his offer first. It's only when Apocalypse gave him metal wings did he accept Apocalypse's supremacy. As a mutant, Angel isn't subtle. He has these big, awesome wings with super sharp talons. He can fly at speeds of up to 150 miles an hour and can even shoot metal feathers. Dude looks super cool in action, and he should have got more screen time.
I'm gonna shove it up your ass. That's right.
Colossus is doing the job of Hulk in the X-Men universe, but he's without all the rage. But that doesn't mean Colossus is any less cool. For starters, he can turn himself into a giant made of steel. This gives him unbelievable strength, durability, and a healing factor. Colossus will flick you with his fingers, and you'll complete a tour of the world in just seconds. So take that, Jackie Chan. Anyway, Colossus has a confusing position in X-Men. In the early films, we see him in Xavier's school, helping everyone, and even throwing Wolverine at a robot. But in Deadpool, he's just awesome. It's a different person, I believe, although I'm not sure. The Deadpool Colossus is a shy, well-mannered Russian, but with the same set of badass powers. He'll Colossus smash enemies and electrocute Juggernaut's ass at the same time. I hope to see so much more of him in Deadpool 3, if that ever comes at all. I don't know why, but Rogue doesn't seem to get the fame that she really deserves. She's been part of the group from day one, and is pretty much one of the main members of Xavier's clan. Rogue's a shy and cute girl, if you might say, but her powers are freaking deadly. She can absorb anyone, literally anyone's life force, by just touching them, and if the contact stays for too long, well, she'll eventually kill all of them. Now that is some power, isn't it? Rogue's power is very lucrative and makes her an easy target. The first X-Men film was all about Magneto trying to use Rogue's powers and how she got that unique white streak of hair. Even in the Rogue cut of Days of Future Past, we see Rogue playing a pivotal role thanks to her powers. Once she was freed from Sentinels, Rogue absorbed Kitty Pryde's powers and took her place till the very last moment. Only if the films in the middle didn't reduce her role to a teenage love drama, we would have seen Rogue in some really cool fights. Mutants come in all shapes and sizes. Some are good, some are bad, and some are just all over the place. But one thing's for sure, each mutant is unique in their own way. So who's your favourite underrated mutant? Did we miss anybody out here? Like this video, share it with friends to remind them of the mutants people don't talk about enough, and don't forget to subscribe to the TV Regent.